Welcome back to WCS America Challenger, game number 2 between Hyun and Jig. And right now, the score is 1-0 in favor of Hyun, spawning the top half of the map. It is Jig. These spinning decals are so cool.
I know, they really are.
Big fan. His opponent down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, opting for 15 pool in game number 2, is formerly of Team Quantic, Hyun. Hyun, just a monster, man. One of the best Zerg players ever to play the game, and you can't really argue against that. He burst onto the scene through a series of online cup victories, but rode that success as far as a GSL final, where he lost to Sniper, I believe, in the GSL final that took place in Las Vegas at IPL 4. It was a sad series to behold. I feel like he was up 2 or 3-0 at one point, but maybe I'm mistaken on that part. Either way, Hyun is a great StarCraft player, and is certainly a heavy favorite to take this series. We've got, I believe this is Hatch first coming out of Jig. So Hatch first against the 15 pool, 15 Hatch. Very similar openings with very similar timings, but Hyun, if all things go perfectly, should come out just a little bit ahead.
The gas timing is what you really have to focus on. You can see 3 minutes and 25 seconds. That means metabolic boost is going to finish about 25 seconds slower than his opponent. So there are some timings that you can actually do things, but we'll find out if Jig actually tries to use that. 6 minutes and around 10 seconds is where Jig is going to finish his metabolic boost. It's a very small timing window. Hyun is going to have Overlords in position, so I think overall Hyun's build makes a lot more sense, especially on this map. But Jig has taken the very important, I guess, risks to kind of edge himself as far ahead as possible.
Yeah. Hyun Ling's going to get up into the main base, but they'll be promptly surrounded and gobbled up by those drones.
All right, Jig.
Up there for Jig. Gets through that without losing a drone, which is a very nice thing. He's going to even get his own scout. Hyun has a real way of blocking these Lings from entering his main base, so Jig's going to see exactly what he's up against, which is good news for him. Oh, or will he? Or will he? Or will he? He will.
These two Zerglings aren't really going to see a lot. I mean, they're going to check the metabolic boost timing, if anything.
He's 2380. Hey, that's enough for Ling speed.
But yeah, I mean, it tells him very, very little. Yeah, it just gives him relative timings, right? And when he sees, okay, your gas is at a pretty standard time, I can't really do much. I guess what you're really scouting for is like no gas openings. That's probably the main build that you really want to address, because if you don't accurately, I shouldn't say defend, but if you don't aggress fast enough and take your third base, you could just fall behind in the mid game.
Both these players are up to shenanigans. No one's getting Ling speed. They're both saving their gas for something. Hyun is dropping a Roach Warren and an Evo Chamber. Double Evo Chamber going down for Jig. Could this be a Zergling style?
Would you want it to be a Zergling style?
It's my favorite style.
I know. You taught me my Zergling style. Did you know that?
I did not know that. It makes me feel special.
And I do not like it.
Oh,
just kidding.
No longer feels special.
It's not bad. But it's definitely hilarious when I'm doing like 2-2 timings on Zergs. It's just like, you didn't account for this, did you? The Vanderbilt.
It's not a Zergling style. Both players getting ranged attack upgrades. Laysai, as we see Jig dropping his own Roach Warren. So it's going to be roaches and roaches, and maybe followed up by even more roaches, as both players have managed to saturate their 2 bases. This time Jig much more even with Hyun than he was in game number 1, where he opted for the early pool and did absolutely no damage. Crazy Overlord coverage for both these players. Check out the vision of Hyun. He sees a little bit. And then let's check out the vision of Jig, who sees everything. He's got almost full vision of the map. Hyun's not going to get any army movement past him.
Critically, though, the Overlord at the third base is located there, so Jig knows, hey, time to do something. Really punish this as best as possible.
Absolutely. Roach is in production for both these players. The layer is substantially later for Jig than it was for Hyun. Hyun's already working on his glial reconstitution. That's the Roach speed upgrade. And I'm wondering how this is all going to play out. Looks like Hyun might be thinking third base before attack. Jig's already planted his own third base. And should probably begin working on these rocks soon.
Really weird. I think I'm surprised that the lair is so disconnected from the 1-1, because this attack is obviously going to be a lot weaker. You can't get your roaches into position. You can even kite if you have Glee Reconstitution over not having it. Overlord's going to...
Where are these guys going?
They are ferrying things away. And wow, look at how many Zerglings are on the way.
Uh-oh.
Is this going to be a huge beam?
This is going to be a huge Roach Ling attack with Queen support, which is not something you see every day.
It is not.
I'm not sure what the purpose here is. I guess a little bit of transfusion.
Now, I would say the Carapace helps out so much, right? Because we have the Carapace. Okay, the Carapace makes a lot of sense now, because now the Roaches take 3 shots.
Oh, the Queens are going to go down instantly, not even managing to cast a single transfusion.
Oh,
Lings do get in the mix, but as we can see, Hyun has produced more than enough Roaches to repel this attack, and Jig's going to have no choice but to disengage here. Oh, dear. He's not going to disengage. He's instead going to fight, because he does not have Roach speed.
That's correct. And that's the problem with this build, I would say. I mean, Jig... It makes a lot of sense now, surrounding with the Zerglings, having the +1 Carapace actually helping the Zerglings out a lot, and the Roaches do damage, but you're able to spot it out from so far away. The Queens, they're slow, Ben.
Yeah, and the issue is it was really a blind all-in. Jig didn't check to see what he was up against, and he's just going to tap out immediately after Hyun defends. So very quickly, Hyun goes up 2-0 in the series.
It's pretty farly ahead.
He is quite farly ahead, as we're probably just going to power through, guys. No breaks since that game was so short, and... Game 3 going to be Polar Knights.
But you said it perfectly. It was just a blind all-in. He's just trying to be aggressive, especially after seeing that hatchery. Really interesting build, though. I would love to see the true power of it, because I don't know. I haven't seen that build ever before.
Well, you know, if you're kind of blindly going crazy on your droning and you decide, oh, let's saturate 3 bases, then obviously that's